My life became really full when it became really simple. However, it did not change into boring and monotonous. I voluntarily quit everything I had been striving for and achieving for many years, and my life took a sharp turn. Modern life has convinced us that if we aren't visible, if we aren't constantly achieving, accelerating or performing, then we don't exist. We treat business as a badge of honor, running a race toward the finish line that someone else drew for us. We are dying for a life we don't even want, gathering trophies that will eventually just collect dust. If you pause for just a second and look at your morning or your evening, what do you actually feel? Is it contentment with the speed of your days? Or is it that heavy silent exhaustion that you carry deep inside? The kind of tiredness that comes not from hard work, but from pretending. From living a life that feels like it was written for someone else. We are taught to accumulate, to match expectations, to make ourselves as loud as possible just to be noticed. But I realized that the only real luxury left in this world is the quiet privilege of being forgotten. It takes an incredible amount of courage to simply step away from the background noise, to stop, to look around and finally admit that the things we are all so desperately digging for, peace, clear thoughts, a sense of meaning, they can never be chased down. They are already here. They've just been buried under everything we thought we needed. Today I want to invite you to stop running. I just want to share a very personal, complicated chapter of my own journey. An honest story of a woman who rose to the top, had everything the world considers a success, and then chose the beauty of being completely unknown. No recipes, no hidden lessons, just a glimpse into a different way of moving through this world. Let's look inside. Wherever we go, whatever we seek and achieve, we strive for the joy of life. Happiness as the grand prize for our efforts. If you look from the side, you will see an interesting thing. One climbs and overcomes difficulties and obstacles, and the other comprehends them for the sake of the same reward. One goes with the flow, the second swims against the tide. One is active, trying to involve everyone around, perhaps to show how to live and drag them along. While the other is calm, he doesn't care about anyone. In general, different people go in completely different directions, although they're trying to find the same thing. It turns out that either one of them is going the wrong way, or what we are looking for is a mineral that can be found everywhere. You just have to dig or dive deeper. Everyone sees and understands the fullness of their life in their own way. One strives for a bright and rich life, while the other for a quiet and simple one. But the funny thing is, when not two different, but one and the same person is looking for his happiness this way, then that way, for a relatively short time, and sometimes drastically changes the direction of his movement. Of course, views change over time, and already the same person contradicts himself. This is the irony of life, or rather, its exciting meaning. Life is not anchoring, but constant movement and continuous search. Climbing up the career ladder can also seem like a movement. On the one hand, it is so. You evolve and grow, gaining some experience. And on the other hand, you move away from yourself and your freedom, getting involved in the established rules of the game. You think you are going up, but in fact your head is reaching your ceiling, and it is crammed with such nonsense, which over time it is ridiculous to remember yourself. Actually, today I wanted you to get to know me even better, my dear friend. But my reasoning about life probably says more about me than the story of my life. To put my long story short and figurative as I like it, I have always had the commitment to get closer to myself, nourish my soul, discover and feed my true needs and desires, and not get involved in other people's games and rules. I'm only or already in my early 40s, and I have worn 40 pairs of shoes to pieces in search of a simple and happy life. Sometimes I fell into despair, gave up on everything. I did not know what to do and where to go, but I continued my movement, each time in a new unknown direction. And now it seems to me that I have lived 40 different lives in this incarnation. Now I realize that I came very close to myself as a result. And that's my greatest achievement. And not that from a girl who grew up in the ghetto, I rose to stellar heights. Many years ago, I literally became a TV star and the author of a daily show. I earned respect and name in the professional world, won the recognition and love of the audience. I was on the covers of newspapers and magazines and got a ticket to the so-called high society.
Но не как тюремным надсмотрщиком для сечения, а как истинным педагогом для учения. Чтобы людей с большой буквы получить, надо бы детей учить. А это вам не просто плясы точить. На уроке приходится и голосом плясать, и ногами петь, без умолку
And then, at the very peak of such a successful and even enviable career, I voluntarily gave up everything and flew away into the unknown. I traded my star life in a city for a simple life in a remote village where no one could recognize me. There were so few people, and so much time to be with my family and myself, to go inside myself, connect with nature, hear the whispering rays of the sun, the tender call of the soul, discover new talents, and after a while make a new name of a prestigious rural photographer, to be in the thick of the most colorful multinational events, and again leave this successful business at that moment for the sake of silence, simplicity, tranquility, and a new search for the self. It may seem that everything in this story was smooth and beautiful, without black and white stripes, without a number of obstacles, trials and difficulties. In fact, it's such a complicated story that one day I literally rose from the dead after a mysterious poisoning. But it's a happy story, because as a result, I became much more alive. My various experiments have liberated me, expanded my consciousness and the boundaries of the possible. I began to treat my life as a dance, as a game. It doesn't matter if I succeed or fail, it's the process itself that matters. It doesn't matter what I get. In fact, I lost a lot, first of all financially, but thereby I was freed from a lot. From unnecessary desires, attachments, ambitions, addictions, cliches and fears. My life is not a story of success or cloudless happiness, but an experience in which there are many falls, pain, bruises, disappointments, after which I got up and searched again and learned to enjoy life again and again. I know firsthand how lone and hopeless the dark night of the soul is. I know what's like to live in limbo, between heaven and earth, between life and death, in search of happiness. I managed to be in the image of a simple village girl and respected journalist, a hermit, a writer, a shaman, a lady monk, a desperate gardener and housewife, a mysterious bronze stranger in a mystical novel, and a kind girl of light from a children's fairy tale were not written by me. This is such a complicated path to simplicity and simple human happiness, which I am still going through, if I tell it in a few words or a few dance movements. I recorded this dance 4 years ago, but somehow, since I moved here, closer to the sea, I completely stopped dancing. I still wonder why. Perhaps the weight of a major relocation and the sheer unfamiliarity of this new place took its toll. Or maybe the endless distractions of adaptation blurred my focus. Sometimes it feels as though I simply lost touch with my roots, and like a tree with severed roots, I can no longer move. Or maybe I just slowed down even more. Maybe I became quieter here by the sea. It is a strange paradox. This coast is a place where dancing would look incredibly beautiful, where it feels so natural, surrounded by harmony and absolute stillness. But perhaps this silence is so vast and profound. The dance or any movement at all is no longer required. Anyway, I haven't figured it out yet. But very soon I will have a chance to feel the difference on a stark contrast. I'm preparing to do something. I'm about to take a step toward the place where I used to dance and to where, to be honest, I felt much braver and freer. Let's see what happens to my silence when the background changes.